Ingenious storage hacks for tiny spaces. When you're measuring square footage in the hundreds instead of the thousands, it's clear you're going to have to get a little creative when it comes to storage ideas for small spaces. Luckily, there are tons of small space storage ideas you can use if your space is on the diminutive side. There are only so many places you can put things, so the more you can think outside of the box within your walls, the better. If major decluttering were easy, we would all do it. But because stuff, at least some of it, is important, most of us have to find solutions for storage.
When you're measuring square footage in the hundreds instead of the thousands, it's clear you're going to have to get a little creative when it comes to storage ideas for small spaces. Use flexible storage. If there's one thing we love about a small space, it's that they show us all how to better organize our things, including this basket shelving setup in this Philly tiny house. The woven baskets are malleable so that you could store bulkier items like sweaters, blankets, and stuffed animals. Maximize wall space, reduce clutter, and make a place for lots of belongings when you install a full wall of cabinets and drawers, as shown in this chic living room by a terracotta design build. They've even included a few shelves above the TV, which would otherwise be empty, unusable space. When it comes to small space organization ideas, it's all about making storage out of blank spaces. Get creative with bike storage. A bike is a great form of exercise and an effective way to get around a city. But where do you store it if you have a small home or apartment? This bike storage system from Project Complete is a simple yet brilliant way to save space by storing bikes on the wall in otherwise unused space. Use a portable storage system. If your bedroom lacks a closet, you can still add a space to keep your clothing neatly organized when you add a portable storage system like the one in this bedroom from @Fashionably Imperfect. It's got shelves for folding items like sweaters and pants, and a rack that allows you to hang items as well. Use pegboard. A well-placed piece of pegboard can be used to hang just about anything if you're looking for small space organization ideas. They're especially useful in the kitchen, like the way Brooke Darwin painted this piece dark green and used it to hang copper pots. Très chic. Make the most of windowsills. When you're living in a small space like this 200-square-foot Philadelphia apartment, you've got to make use of every flat surface. And sometimes that includes your windowsills. If you have them, they're a perfect spot for trinkets or plants or any other small objects you can think of. Incorporate vintage pieces. Often, small space living means repurposing items to suit the unique needs of your space. But the owner of this Australian apartment took that one step further when she stacked vintage suitcases to double as both storage and a cool-looking TV stand. Install shelves high. Look up! In this DC apartment, sky-high shelving is situated over a door to house books and other trinkets, and keep them out of the way. It's honestly one of the most clever small space organization ideas we've seen. Use a narrow cabinet. No space? No problem when you incorporate a super slim cabinet as storage. You'd be surprised how much clutter a slim cabinet like this one from Yamazaki can corral. Rethink your bedside table. Traditional nightstands usually have a shelf and maybe a drawer or two in them. Not bad in terms of storage, but you often find small space dwellers eschewing bedside tables entirely or using a chair or wall-mounted shelf instead. Well, if you're trying to sneak in storage, here's a bold move. Why not use an actual shelving unit like the one in the San Francisco studio? Yes, it takes up more square footage, but the ROI might be worth it for you. Camouflage with curtains. No proper closet? No problem. Curtains are the ingenious product hack here in this Brooklyn apartment. You can install shelves, racks, and bins galore right onto your wall, and then just use curtains on a tension rod to hide the evidence of this makeshift wardrobe. Visual clutter? Gone in a second. Hang hooks. It sounds simple, but have you mounted hooks anywhere yet? The owner of this Hong Kong home has maxed out her vertical space by mounting hooks, right on a piece of furniture. Walls obviously work too. You can also grab space on the back of a door, and if you can't or don't want to make holes in your walls, opt for a removable, self-adhesive option. Use corners. The inconspicuous hooks in this cool and eccentric New York apartment make corner storage so simple and much less obvious than when using a stool, rack, or table. Select seating that also serves another function. Chests and benches with hidden compartments like the ones in this Maryland home are your best friends for stashing all sorts of stuff and providing seats for friends and guests. Anytime you can find something that has a dual purpose, all the better. Repurpose a dresser as a media console. There's no rule that says you have to use an actual media console or entertainment center for your television. In fact, those pieces tend to be low-slung and designed for holding electronics. Turn an accent wall into a storage wall. Yeah, it'd be cool if you could paint a geometric mural on a wall, or wallpaper it, and just bask in the graphic impact of it all. But in a small space like this Brooklyn apartment, you can't afford to leave all that wall blank. If you have a small, somewhat awkward, uninterrupted stretch of drywall, try to find a storage unit that you can squeeze in there as tightly as possible. You're basically faking a built-in, kind of like this couple did with these cubbies. It's a pantry, buffet for serving pieces, and a record shelf all in one. And if you wanted an extra pop of color, you could add colored bins or shop for colorful pieces or books. Consider the above-the-sofa space. Prints, postcards, and photos look great hung up, but sometimes putting a bunch of holes into your walls for a gallery-style arrangement isn't an option. If that's the case, stick to a simple shelf for all of your artwork displaying needs. A prime example of this can be found in this chic Los Angeles rental, which used a barely there ledge to store and display a variety of framed pieces and a small sculpture. This kind of setup also makes it super easy to switch out items in a growing collection. Boost your bed's storage potential. Most mattresses are wide and long enough that you should really be utilizing the space underneath them if you're in need of storage ideas for small spaces. If you're fancy, get a custom-made platform bed as seen here. For a more middle-of-the-road solution, try a bed frame with underbed drawers. The budget solution, risers from your college dorm days and long flat bins. It still works. Go vertical with shoe storage. When you're spatially challenged, you don't always have the bandwidth to be cute with your storage pieces. Over-the-door shoe racks like the one in this Brooklyn apartment are by no means chic, but they get the job done and use dead space in a constructive, creative way. You don't have to put one of these on every door. Your bedroom or closet doors are probably enough. But you might also try an over-the-door towel rack in your bathroom. Give stairs a secret feature. This isn't a product per se, but if you can do any construction at all in your home, consider rebuilding your stairs or a stair landing to include pull-out drawers like the ones in this Maryland home. How James Bond of you. Maximize the area above the cabinets. Sure, a random assortment of items on top of your cabinets can look cool, but it can also very easily veer into cluttered territory. Instead, take inspiration from this petite London flat. Baskets are placed atop a pantry cupboard to make storing items appear neat, intentional, and orderly. Beautify your radiator. With a wooden slab-style shelf and a few decorative accents, you can transform an ugly radiator into a perfect little display shelfie, similar to what this cozy Seattle apartment dweller has done. While it doesn't make the radiator completely disappear, it does help disguise it, and lets you find a prime spot for some special pieces in the process. Grab the spot above your door moldings. Every home can have houseplants, no matter how small, especially with this sneaky trick. Above a door frame in a charming San Francisco apartment, you'll find the perfect spot for a mini indoor garden, and this idea can be replicated anywhere you have an interior door or wall cut out. This solution takes advantage of wasted space and still enables you to enjoy your plant babies, although you might have to get on a step stool to water them. Use a storage ladder. A blanket ladder is a great way to store blankets and towels, but you can also use it to hold on to other items. In this Maryland townhome, the blanket ladder is used to display magazines and hang up hats and towels. Here's how you can DIY your own ladder. Use a storage ladder. A blanket ladder is a great way to store blankets and towels, but you can also use it to hold on to other items. In this Maryland townhome, the blanket ladder is used to display magazines and hang up hats and towels. Here's how you can DIY your own ladder.